Hey, what's up, everybody? We in the house. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Conversations with Cogee. We got a great show today. I'm very amped about this show, everybody. You know why? Because I have family members that's going through this right now. I have close family members that's going through it right now. I have a great lady that's in the studio with me. We'll be talking to her in a minute, but she's doing great things with families that's going through it right now. And this is a disease, everybody. I'm telling you, this is running rampant, and I mean, it's hitting all kind of people. There's no color lines, white, black, rich, poor, whatever you are, you can be immune to this situation. So I just want you to know it's a very, very deep show about Alzheimer's. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I see so many people, you know what I'm saying, that deal with this, and I watch them laugh, I watch them smile, then I see them again, and I watch them get slower and get slower. And it's very, very devastating. So what I want to do, I really want to dedicate this show. Y'all know I always pray on this, and God put it in my spirit to do this show. So I definitely got to deliver it and make sure that this show is the best show with great information. We have victims, that'll be coming on the show today. And when I say victims, I'm saying victims of this whole situation with their families going through it. And we all are victims because we one village. And when we have family members going through it, we all are affected by it also. So I want to go to my co-host, Miss Peaches. How you doing today?
Hey, Cogee, I just want to give you big props and thank yous for, coming up with this show. And you say, you always pray and it comes to you, and this one was important. And I just think that a lot of people will learn that there's so many hurting people out there, and they're going to learn a lot today. And you're going to, I know you're going to bring it, like you always do, positive and full of information and love. So I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But see, what people don't understand without Alzheimer's, disease, it's a slow, silent killer that destroys a person's life, takes their family to a breaking point far and beyond. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's really rough when you see the families that deal with this, how they on the emotional roller coasters. And that's what Miss Demita is going to tell us about, and tell us how families can deal with it, what they can do, where they can get help. You know what I'm saying? But it also brings families closer, and it make you really love on that person and dig down deep to hold on for that person, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they can get through it smoothly and they can deal with it from day to day. And that's what I want to let people know, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely.
And we got great followers all around the world that's listening to us and making sure that, you know what I'm saying, they getting the information and they passing the show on to other people, and they telling people about my show in other countries and other cities. And I've been having a great response, and I thank every one of y'all out there, for giving me a chance, for giving me the chance to relate my situation and you all, my show, and bring good opportunities, bring good information, but yet to show that I really do love my city. I love my countries. I love just the whole fight of me knowing I'm putting the word out there. So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to get comfortable. Don't get too comfortable in them cars driving now. Have your seatbelts on, turn your radio up, and get ready for a great show. And if you're at home, get your pens and get your paper. And when we come back, we got Miss Demita Smith. And I mean, she's really going to bring it, giving us some great information. I want to say what's up to Ty out there. I want to say my blessings goes out to you and your family. And I thank you for this great lady to see in right now. And let's get ready for a good show, y'all. I'm really hyped. It's a deep show because I know people personally, and this is affecting me real personal. You know what I'm saying? Because I see these people in my head as I'm speaking right now. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. And much love to everybody out there. And hey, to everybody that's going through it, we do love you just the way you are. We won't change up on you. We're going to stick with you. It's Cogee, baby. I'll be right back. Hey, everybody, I'm back. It's your host, Cogee. Welcome to Conversations with Cogee. Hey, where we bring the truth and we bring it to light. And let me tell you something. It's time for America to hear the truth. Title of the show today, Alzheimer's. You think you know, you have no idea. And that's what you're going to learn today. You have no idea how devastating this situation is. So first thing I want to do, let me do this. Miss Demita Smith, who's in with us today, she runs a home, to help a lot of people out. And on top of that, she's really a humanitarian. I'm very proud of her. I met her through Miss Ty Todd. And like I said, Ty brung her in. And like I said again, Ty, God bless you and your family. But I just want to say, I'm very proud of you, Miss Demita.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cogee, for having me on today and allowing me the platform to talk about my little space in the world and trying to change things.
Oh, yeah. But you know what I learned? And it's really true. every little piece of the puzzle is what helps shape the world and build the world. And that's what we're doing today on this show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, Miss Peaches.
Yes, Coach.
What do you think about the work Demita's doing?
I think it's great and wonderful, and I think anybody who has a passion that she shares with her should get with her and, try to help in any way they can.
You're definitely right. Let's bring my man, Big Blaze. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So what do you think about the topic today?
Right now, I'm actually kind of driving. I didn't really get a chance to hear the topic. I called it not that long ago.
All right. Miss Peaches.
Regardless.
Oh, yeah, bring him up to speed, Miss Peaches. I know he's ready for whatever we come with.
That's right. Hey, Big Blaze. So today we're talking about Alzheimer's. You think you know, but you have no idea. And, as always, Cogee's brought experts, people who are suffering from or have family members suffering from. And he comes from a place in his heart because he also has seen this destroy and tear down people in his family and lives that he truly cares about and loves. So we have a lot to learn today, and it's going to be a deep show. And by the way, Cogee, that song really just meant something totally different on this show today, and I really felt your song choice.
And you know what? That's the way I felt about it when I was thinking of songs like that really means a lot, and it still deals with love, because no matter what, that's what this comes back to in this situation. Am I right, Demita?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You're definitely right. But let me throw this out real quick. I want to give y'all this website, and y'all can check out this website, and y'all can check out these phone numbers. The Forgetting website is pbs.org. It's full of information that can help you and your family, come up to speed with whatever you need to know about this disease, different groups that can help you. A lot of information to bring you up to speed on this disease and its devastation and how you can deal with it. Another one is Alzheimer's Association. This phone number is 1-800-272-3900. 1-800-272-3900. And this hotline, you can hit it 24 hours anytime you want to, and they can help you with support groups, doctors. They have gone, and people that have gone through the situation and that have great information. So let's make sure that, we use those numbers, we use the websites, and we move forward. So now we'll move into the show. Miss Demita.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about your facility and tell us the name and what it stands for and how you came up with it?
The name of my facility is Ohana Adult Care.
Okay.
And it's a 10-bed residential care facility. Most people would call it a group home.
Okay.
And within the group home, we take care of seniors, some of which have dementia or Alzheimer's and some which do not. But our primary focus is the people out in the community that have Alzheimer's. I came up with the name, it's been almost 6 years ago now. It's the Hawaiian word for family. And I was just kind of tossing the idea around. I was a nurse originally, and when I retired from nursing, I was like, what am I going to call it? What am I looking for? I'm looking for a place where I would put my mother, a place that would treat people like a family. And so I looked at my kids, and I looked at my then husband, and I said, well, we're looking for something like an Ohana. And I went, that's it, Ohana. And that's it. Considering the people have Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that, even though you're from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religious beliefs or whatever, most of the people, 90% of the population within Ohana, are tied by the exact same thread, which is the thread of Alzheimer's. So we are a family. We take care of one another. A family is just a group of people who love each other and care for each other. It doesn't matter where you come from.
It's where you end up at.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And being in the hands of right people later on in the stages of your life. That's what we all want as we get older and, as we get to an age where we can't really help ourselves, that we done great and done right by people, and we land in a good position of people to help us through.
That's true.
And you're doing a good job, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm trying. It's hard.
No, you doing, but you know what? But you keep fighting, and that's what I like about this situation. With you, Ty even told me that you're a go-getter. You know what I'm saying?
Trying.
She's got a lot of respect for you. And when she put me up on you, you know what I'm saying? And I checked you out, you know what I'm saying? And me and you talked, I see where she's coming from. You got love in your eyes and in your voice when we talked, you was all for it. And you want to make sure that these people are all right, you know what I'm saying, with this disease and they can move forward, and the families. But I want to ask you this. How devastating is this disease? People have no idea. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely right. The disease, sometimes my mother and I, we talk, and I'm like, there's a little thing that I saw on the internet one time, and it was a lady, and she had this great big smile on her face, and she says, I may have Alzheimer's, but at least I don't have Alzheimer's. It's devastating to the patient in the sense of they watch time pass by them and they forget everything, but the people who it hurts even more are the family members, because you've known this person your whole life, you've cared for this person, loved this person, and you essentially just watch them vanish right in front of your eyes because they forget you. They forget everything you've had together, everything you've shared. So it's very, very devastating disease. The person who's suffering with it, they suffer the effects of the disease, but they don't realize they have it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you'll see people inside of Ohana and they're walking around and they can't remember what's going on, but they have no concept that there's something wrong with them. That's the tiny, tiny blessing of the disease, is that they don't know. Like when you have cancer, you know you have cancer and you know you're so sick from it. But when you have Alzheimer's and dementia, you really don't know how sick you are. Your body takes on all the physicalities that the disease puts in your path. And that's the bad part, and that's the sad part. But for the people who love you, you vanish right in front of their eyes. You just vanish in front of their eyes.
Is it like a mental prison?
I think so. I feel like it is. I feel like, and I don't want anybody out there that hears me say this to take it in the wrong way, but I feel like that sometimes God heals through taking people and putting them in heaven.
Right.
Because you are so imprisoned by the disease. It takes away your ability to think, reason, and read. It takes away your ability to know that you're hungry. It takes away your ability to know you need to use the restroom. It takes away your ability to do everything. You literally forget every single thing. So you just vanish and vanish and vanish and vanish, and then you're gone. But everybody that loves you is watching this stuff happen to you, and it's just so very hard. And it's so financially stinging and expensive on the family as well. It's just a hard disease. It's a brutal disease.
What kind of I'm trying to think how to put this. What kind of situations do you see in Ohana that break you down sometime? You know, where it's like, okay, I thought I had this under control because I see it every day, but it's just one or two patients that you see them go through something. It's just, you got to go take a minute.
That actually happens a lot in the house itself, and I think that happens no matter what type of facility the person is in. For me, the thing that made me get Ohana in the first place are not so much the people who have supportive families and structure around them, and they still have to place them there. But I get a lot of people that come into Ohana and they have no children, they have no spouse, they have no one, period. So when they start to suffer and they start, the disease starts to really grab a hold of them, and you've been loving them so long, because you'll come to my building and you'll hear me say to people, they get under your skin and they just dance under your skin.
Right.
It's almost like they dance under your skin. So when they start to pass, I have to sit back and I take myself for a minute and I go, whew, it's hard. You know, it's very hard to see that, and then you realize that they've got nobody's coming to visit, nobody's calling them, nobody's checking on them, nobody's doing anything, and then they're gone, and it's almost like they never existed in the first place. It's like this person was never even on the map, and that's just hard. That's very hard. And when they were such talkative people, or they had these very, very elaborate lifestyles, and their voice goes away. Like I had a gentleman, he was a deacon in his church. He was a very strong wordsmith, and one day the disease took his ability to speak away, and he would just sit there and go, and he just couldn't talk, and it just broke my heart. I felt so bad because he couldn't tell you the simplest thing of like, hey, my head is itching. He couldn't say anything, and you could see him struggling. His eyes would just look at you so sad, and he would just go, and you'd have to interpret everything, because they literally do, just like the Bible says, they go back to being infants. And he went from not talking to not walking to curling up to the point where I could pick this man up, and I'm only 105 pounds soaking wet. I could pick him up and put him in the bed. And my daughter saw me do that, and we both stood there crying, because I literally watched him go from upright to a complete infant all over again, and there was nobody that knew he was in the world. Nobody knew he was there anymore, because his wife had passed before he did, and he never had children.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. What can people out here that's listening right now over the airwaves, what can they do to come and help with people that don't have nobody? What can people do to help you in this situation or help your business?
I think that one of the things that the community would be really helpful to do for us, that we have some people coming and doing, we have kids who go to the high schools and they'll dedicate some of their time to come over and just do arts and crafts or sit down and just talk and reminisce. Sometimes the churches come over. We have a Jehovah's Witness church. They come over and they do a spiritual meeting. It's nothing to push you in one direction of the religion or another, but they come and they just share and they spend time. So just giving your time like that to, nobody wants you to come and give me your money. Right. That's not what I'm asking you to do. Right. But come in and hold some hands, because guess what? We cry together. We love each other. We laugh together. We do all those things. And there is that moment in time for each person who has dementia where there is that little bit of clarity, and they just look through the little window for that minute and they realize that they're sick and they realize that there's nobody there. And you see the depression fall on them so badly, and you see them walking around teary-eyed. So if people would give their time to come in and just spend a little time, hold a hand, talk, do color, just visit.
Right.
Because that stuff's free. Smiles and stuff are free. It takes nothing from you to give that, but you gain so much. You gain so much.
What would you like for me to do personally to come and be a part of your situation?
Putting this on the table like this, and giving us a platform to talk about it. And I'm not saying this just because I'm a person of color, but a lot of times we don't even think of this disease as affecting people of color. A lot of times we think that mostly Caucasian people are affected with this, because you come into the environments like mine and you see that a large amount of the population is Caucasian. So putting it out here this way lets us know that it does affect every single community. Every single, person can be affected by this in some shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
So just putting the platform here is huge. Okay. It's huge.
What is the cost of being in Ohana, and what payment sources are out there for people that they don't know about?
Well, unlike most group homes, Ohana has 3 different ways that we take a pay source. You can do a private pay situation where the beds are anywhere from $2,500, and lower. We go from like $2,500 and maybe down to like $17. But then we also do something that's called the WEARC waiver, or the work waiver, through Medicaid for people who have very low or limited incomes, where they'll pay a portion of the stay with Social Security, and then Medicaid will actually kick in the other part. And that number is through the Division of Aging, and it's a 702-486-3545.
Okay, you can tell them again one more time slower.
702-486-3545. And
what was the name of it again?
It's called the WEARC program. Some people pronounce it the work waiver. Okay. And it's a waiver through Medicaid. So they have to be Medicaid eligible, and Medicaid pays for the rest of the cost. They pay a portion with their Social Security. So say they only make $600 a month, they would pay that portion to the facility itself, and then Medicaid would determine how much they're going to pay. So it still allows people who may not have the resources that someone else has, because it's very expensive.
Right.
But it allows them to still be able to be put in a safe environment. And the nice thing about that waiver is it's governed by the Division of Aging. So you get a social worker that's coming in and checking on you.
Okay.
You get the ombudsman that's coming in and checking. And then we also take the waivers through the VA. So we have some veterans that are able to get some placement, and it kind of works just like the WEARC waiver.
Right. Okay, let me ask you this. What sets Ohana apart from other facilities? I'll let you break it down, for people that might not know. Some people that this is their first time hearing about your facility, so you can break it down to them.
I think what sets us apart are of course I'm going to say quite a few things. This is my facility, but I think what really sets us apart from the other facilities is that we are an all-inclusive situation. So when you come into Ohana, it's not like most facilities. Like most facilities, if you take a certain amount of medications, they have a charge for that. If you need assistance with toileting and bathing and things of that nature, they charge for that. Okay. If you need to be sent to the doctor, they charge for that. We are all inclusive. So the price we set down includes all of the care. If you need incontinence products, it includes that. If you need to be taken back and forth to the doctor, we do that with no charge. If you need clothing, we will provide your loved one, or if it's you that needs care yourself, with clothing, shoes, coats. We buy all of your products for taking care of yourself, hair care products. We have people who are kind enough to donate their time to do barber services, beautician services. We do their nails for free. So there's a lot of things that we will do that other places don't do. And the biggest part that sets us aside from other places is Ohana, we have our own scholarship. We gave away $1,000, and that may not seem like a lot, but for a small facility such as mine, for us to be able to take our own money that my staff and myself, we put aside, and we donate $1,000 to a student for 4 years while they go to college. So we have a girl named Sydney right now that got it last year, and so we're paying again this year. She gets it on November. And then we also have our own lunch drop where the residents themselves, they pack sack lunches. And that's a big thing for a person who has Alzheimer's, to be able to stay focused enough to do that. And they pack the lunches, and then we drive right down Owens where the VA is and the homeless shelter is, and we drop off like 35 to 50 sack lunches, and we feed the homeless. We do it once a month. We've been doing it ever since we've been in business. And that's something that maybe a lot of places don't do. We do memorial services free of charge for families. So we try to do everything that's going to feed the mind, the body, and the spirit within the building. Okay,
I hear you. But before I go to a break, and everybody, you don't want to miss this, we got Miss Demita Smith. I'm telling you, she's in here from Ohana Adult Care. The lady's really doing it big, y'all. And she's doing it with a big heart. Her eyes are just lit up right now. You can tell she really feel it, and she loves what she's doing. We also got another guest on the phone we'll be getting to right after this, Miss Florence Fisher. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss her story with her mom, and I think Demita will be great for this. But I'm going to send this out to all the families and the people who are taking care of the people with this situation, and it gets hard, and they struggling, and they break down, and they cry, and they try to hold on, and they pray. But we love you on this show, and I'm doing this show for y'all. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. You don't want to miss Miss Fisher, and you don't want to miss Demita. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Conversations with Cogee.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Conversations with Cogee. Title of the show today, Alzheimer's. You think you know, you have no idea. And as y'all hearing, you have no idea what these people go through and what the families go through and what the people at these facilities go through to help them, get through this situation as comfortably as possible. Now, on the show right now, we got a call in all the way from across the world. Miss Florence Fisher, how you doing today, ma'am?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is my family right here, y'all. This is my family right here. Believe me, she's really doing a good job with her moms, and thank you for my birthday today. I love you.
I know, man. Same too, man. We love you too, man. Everybody says they love, but listening to this show about my mom. My mom has had this for 8 years. She has dementia.
Okay.
It's horrible to me. It's so sad to watch her deteriorate like this. But the worst thing about it is there is no help. I don't know where. I don't get where you get the help from. There is no help. Not down here. Only thing that they really offer you here is to really put her away, and that's the one thing that I will not do. And it's hard. It's hard as heck.
Right.
Anything else is it's ridiculous. I mean, I put her in this little program now, but she gets nothing out of it.
Florence, let everybody know what city you from.
I'm in Florida.
Okay.
Where you think it's the capital for the senior citizens. Where else can you go? This is all about the seniors, but I don't know. If someone knows a place down here, I looked at a lot of them, and they're very depressing to me.
Right.
You sit there, you look at them, they just sitting there like they, I don't know, it's just depressing,
And, Flo, let me ask you this. The title of the show, Alzheimer's, you think you know, you have no idea. Am I right?
That's
People
right.
have no idea, right or wrong.
No idea at all. I mean, for the things that she goes through, because I have a brother that's doing a life sentence, and that's all she knows. That's her heart. That's her first child. She literally goes through that. I mean, to watch her, open up the pillowcase and to actually feed it with soup and call his name, and I mean, it's. I could write a book. You have no idea. I mean, truthfully, no idea what you go through with this.
Right, and everybody.
Like yesterday, she walked out. That's the first time she did that. Really, I mean, walk. She's tired. Wow. She's almost tired of living. We had to go catch her, bring her. But Oh, it's too much. It's so
Oh,
hard.
I know what you go through. But everybody, I want to let y'all know, her brother is Guy Fisher, the first black owner of the Apollo Theater. That's her brother, Guy Fisher.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a big name in New York, look him up. But now he's Dr. Fisher. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Doing his thing. He's an author, top-selling author. I mean, changed his life and doing it big. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a role model. And, when he get time, he's going to call into the show also and, keep it going with us. Yeah, definitely. So let me ask you this. Demita, what would be your words, to Florence on this whole situation, with what she's going through? Can we give her some support or help? Or what do you think she should do?
I would say that the first place for you to start is with your Division of Aging Services there in Florida. I don't, of course, have the number there, but if you would go through the Division of Aging Services, they'll be able to help you find good and reputable places that are safe for your mother, based on the size that you want. Like, I know you guys have group homes and stuff out there too. They can help you find a place that is safe, that has the correct staffing ratio. And if they can't help you, you can always go through your Alzheimer's Association too, which Cogee gave the number to that at the start of the show. Right. You can go through the Alzheimer's Association, and if you still don't have the resources that you need, I think there's a place on the internet. I don't exactly know the number, but it's called A Place for Mom. It's a referral resource agency, and they go all over the world looking for group homes, long-term care facilities, assisted livings, everything like that. They help with finding.
Well, that's all they recommend. Just what you're saying. I've done that. The first two, her doctor, when you look up Alzheimer's, that's one of the doctors that she has. Now, as far as trust me, this has been an 8-year process, which I'm totally involved in her, whatever she does. But the only thing that burns me up when I go to a doctor or anything, they never talk to her. Never. They talk to me.
That's
totally.
right.
They don't even. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I did when I first started this process, and I think it's just a good idea for everybody to do before you actually pick a group home. When you go with the Division of Aging Services, they have a list of all the licensed facilities within your state.
I have it.
Okay, when you get that list, what I did was I took the list, I went and I visited the homes by myself. And I just kind of looked around. If it's dark inside, forget it, toss it away. If it smells bad, toss it away. If people are sitting there looking like they're not doing anything, they're not engaged, they look unhappy, if the staff doesn't have strong skills and look happy and the place isn't bright and sunny and clean and stuff like that, toss it out. It takes a long time to find something you're happy with. Okay, if you don't want to go that route and you want to keep her in your home, that same Division of Aging Services, through Medicaid or whatever they have agencies that they're connected with that can find people to come in your home and take care of your mother.
Let me explain something. I'm not trying to cut you up. I've done all of that. They got to stay for the day. They pick her up and they could take her out for a couple of hours. The places that you get that you don't really have the money for are not nice. Now, they have a beautiful place I could put her in. It's $2,500 a month.
Right. That's how.
She can go a couple of days a week. But it's beautiful. Have you seen? I would want to move in there with nothing wrong with me.
Wow. That's
but
nice.
It's hard. I mean, I know so many people here because they see me all the time coming in, picking her, and they're all going through the same thing. The places are horrible, but you got to work. You drop them off 6 in the morning. You can pick them up at 6, but they're terrible. They all the stuff you just said. They look bad. They smell bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you thought about going through like a home health agency or a local hospice agency, not to sign your mother on to hospice or home health, but the good thing about a hospice or home health agency is they outsource and they refer to other places that they know are good because they're sending staff in there to take care of the people that are already in those homes. So you might just want to call one and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for in every place that I've been to. I'm really not satisfied with. Where is a place that you would recommend? What do you think?
Let me ask you something. What would you recommend? Because I'm going to tell you something. For her to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know what to do, to be honest with you.
Well, hold on. First, can I come in and say, let me give you the Alzheimer's Association. I'm going to give you this number, Flo. Do you have a pen?
Yes, I'm ready. I got it.
1-800
Go ahead.
272 3900. for anybody that's just listening, hey, you're listening to Conversations with Cogee. Thank you for tuning in today. Hey, title of the show, Alzheimer's, you think you know, you have no idea. And right now we got Miss Florence Fisher on the phone and Miss Demita Smith of Ohana Adult Care, LLC. And it's great information flowing right now. So to anybody that just tuned in, like I said, if you want to know this number again, the Alzheimer's Association, 1-800-272-3900 is the number. Okay, go ahead, Demita.
I would recommend, are you asking my recommendations on things to keep her engaged or place to stay?
I wouldn't. I'm never gonna put her nowhere. I don't care how bad she gets.
Well, if you're looking things to keep her engaged, if you're not happy with like adult daycare and stuff like that, then again, I am going to encourage you to look towards a home health agency or a hospice agency, not to sign your mother on. I never want anybody to think, but get them to come to you and give you some recommendations on places that can come within your home, because the same division of aging, I don't know about in your state, but here they have something that they're like CNAs, but they're called personal care sitters or something like that. They can also come into your home and it'll be built through.
They come in and take all the vitals, do nothing, no, nothing.
And that's all they've been doing. Well, see, they should actually do more than that for her. They should come in and take her vitals. They should come in and help to bathe her. And then if you did something with like a hospice or something like that, they have spiritual guidance people that'll come into the home and sit with her for an hour a day and do things like that. They can also offer you activities therapy to come in to your home and do a lot of those things for you. But you got to lock in with a very, very good agency. Like out here, I pair up a lot with this agency called Infinity. They do awesome work. They have agencies all around the United States too.
Do you have a number for Infinity?
Yeah, it's a 702.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's 702-880-7002.
And tell them the name again and say it one more time slowly.
And it is Infinity Hospice. And it's 702-880-7002. And the thing I like about them is not only do they come into the facility and do the care with our Alzheimer's residents, but they'll go out and do outreach with the families to help out. And if the people want to stay in their home, they can send someone into the home 5 days a week to bathe, help clean, help take care of the house. And then they'll send people over like our friend Ty. Right. Ty works through Infinity too. Right. She'll go over and she'll do activities and keep them engaged that way. So there's a lot of things in the community, but you just got to link up with the right thing. And if this agency isn't in Florida, they can tell you like a sister company that they'll work with. But you really have to use your division of aging services to your benefit if you don't like any of the group homes, because I would love to be able to keep my mother at home as well. But unfortunately, with the disease, sometimes it takes that ability out of your hands where you have to seek placement.
I know, everybody's telling me that. It's been 8 years now.
Yeah, so for you to have been able to have her at home for 8 years, you are really, really fortunate, and that means you've taken a tremendous amount of care, because it's very hard. The disease itself makes it so hard that you have to end up outsourcing and going to another place.
Yeah,
and let me ask you this. Speaking of people coming in your homes and being around your families and all that, how do you scan these people and scan the whole situation, to know it's a safe situation, it's a great situation, they come and do what they say they're going to do, and it's just an all-around great win-win for both sides? Well,
you're going to be able to find that out through, again, your Division of Aging Services, but also with what we have here, which is the Bureau of Healthcare Quality and Compliance. I don't know if it's called the same thing in Florida. It might just be called the Bureau of Licensure and Certification. That's the big statewide agency for each state in this nation. The
Bureau of, what is that again?
Bureau of Healthcare Quality and Compliance. Okay. I'm going to give you their Las Vegas number, and they'll actually be able to give you the number in your state.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
It's 702 486 6515. And they're the bureau that licenses hospitals, long-term care facilities, group homes, and all those things, hospices and everything. They license them and they rate them, and they give them a letter grade of A all the way to, I think, like F. And they can help you to find out if there's been any complaints registered against that business, if there's been any allegations of abuse, and if they've been cited on hygiene and things like that. So you can use that and your Division of Aging Services to help you kind of weed out the good from the bad. And then the biggest thing of all is you're going to get word of mouth, because it really doesn't, the Division of Aging can say how great you are, but if you give good care and somebody else says you're bad, then you're dead meat anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if someone from the division says, oh, we don't like this facility, but everybody else in the community is saying, you know what? They give great care to my mother. They give great care to my father. They give great care to my uncle. Then that's going to stick, because the people who are really going to tell the truth about the care you give are the people who have had someone in your care.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So that's the best way to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I do go and visit places and I look around and I check it out and I see it. Because sometimes you get a complaint because people have sour grapes, and that's the truth.
I heard that.
But when you get good care, then the word will spread on its own.
Okay, there it is. What is the age range of your clients in your facility?
Well, my age range used to be anywhere from 70 to 100. Here lately, because the face of dementia changes as well, because of maybe narcotic, alcohol abuse, or just life in general. So now my population goes anywhere from the late 40s all the way up into the age of 100. So we're seeing the face of dementia and Alzheimer's just change, because people are getting diagnosed with early dementia.
In younger ages.
Some people might have something like Pick's disease, which is a form of dementia that takes the speech away and it affects the frontal lobe of the brain. So it affects a lot of young people sometimes. So I get people in their 50s coming in and they might have Pick's, and I'm like, wow, this is such a young person.
Right.
And she's strongly affected with this. So the population, I think, just changes.
Why do you think it's popping up in a lower bracket of age people right now?
Of the younger people?
Yeah.
Like I said, for me personally, and I'm not a physician, but from what I see, a lot of the people, the younger people that are affected with it that come into our building, maybe had a history of alcohol abuse,
Right.
or a
Drug
history
abuse.
of narcotics
Right.
abuse. The things that you do to your body have extremely long-term effects.
Right.
So when I talk to their families, they go, oh, she's so young, or he's so young. But you know what? If you trace the history of what they've been doing, if you've been drinking a lot and you've had a problem with it, you've already killed so many brain cells. So dementia has nothing to do but get in your brain and run rampant.
Right. And let me ask you this. What is required for placement in Ohana?
To be placed in any group home, really, and as well as an assisted living or long-term care facility, the requirements from the state are basically the same. The person has to be free of tuberculosis, which has to be proven with a 2-step TB skin test. Now they used to just say a negative chest x-ray, but it's a 2-step negative TB skin test. They have to have a history and physical from their physician. They have to have some orders written by the doctor saying that they are appropriate for placement. It's like a standard placement determination. Okay. All those things have to be taken care of before they can come in. And then after that, once the doctor does the placement stuff and they're free of tuberculosis, they're healthy enough to be able to come in, then that's okay. And then then it's just about working out the finances.
Okay.
But we want to make sure they're free of tuberculosis, because you don't want to get anyone ill.
Right.
And if they have had a positive chest x-ray, you want to make sure they're on the correct medications to keep it from rolling into active tuberculosis.
Okay, there it is. Let me ask you this. With Miss Todd, what is the name of her facility also?
Her place is an independent living home, and so all that we have been calling it is Ty's Place. It is an independent
Ty's
living
Place.
home.
Yeah.
So the people there, they have to be able to do more things for themselves. They have to be able to pretty much function on an independent level.
Right.
And any medical stuff that they would need has to come from an outside source.
Okay, so we're going to do this. We down to 3 minutes. The first hour was over already.
That was fast.
That was real fast. Hey, a lot of information. We doing great right now. So let me say this. I want to do this with Flow First Flow. I'm going to give you 50 seconds. Hey, people think they know, they have no idea. You got 50 seconds to break it down about this disease, what people should do, the blessings you send out to people, and, how you can be reached.
Well, see, what I think people should do, because, in my situation, I believe that if I had more help, even within your own family, people tend to get a little scared and they back up. They just reach out to her because she's a loving person, It would make things way better than what it is, because now everybody kind of backs away from her like she has some type of, AIDS or cancer or something to that effect, I believe,
Right.
It would be way better all the way around, because even she looks good, she feels good, because she's that type of person. She goes back to her own, I don't know. I just think that would help more than anything. I think these medicines and the diet, because now I'm finding out through another doctor, it depends. A lot of things is what she eats.
Okay.
And if you can get her on a better diet, it will let the so supposedly saying the blood flow easier to the brain. I had a long conversation with someone yesterday, so I'm trying all of this now. And then there's a shot. There's a shot that I had her on the list for over the last 4 years, So, I've been trying everything I can, but I just say if you can just keep them home. But a lot of people know you got to have a lot of patience, and I'm not wearing thin, but I'm getting close.
Okay,
God
there it
bless you.
is. Well, God bless you. You know we love you, and I love you. And whatever I can do, that's why I told you coming to the show today.
I know, perfect. I appreciate all this information. It's wonderful. I wish she was here where I was at.
Oh yeah, bring.
Me too.
But but she is through information. So real quick,
You're right.
Demita, you 50 seconds, real quick. We got 1 minute, 50 seconds.
What I think that people need to do, as Ms. Fisher said, diet is important, medications are important, getting diagnosed right away is important, and supporting the person who is the primary caregiver, because sometimes they get burned out. They can get very burned out. It's a hard job. So giving the support not only to the person who has the disease, but the caregiver of the disease, finding a safe place for the person suffering with the disease is important too.
Okay. We'll give them your website and stuff real quick.
Okay, I will give you my email address. It is ohanads@aol.com. My website is www.ohanaadultcare.com.
Okay, there it is. Everybody, so hey, this is our first hour. That was Miss Demita Smith of Ohana Adult Care. And we got Miss Florence Fisher, who's on here from Florida. I just want to tell y'all, we got 10 seconds. We're going into the next hour. I want y'all ladies to stay right here with me. Everybody, don't touch that dial. Stay tuned in. We got other great guests coming in. Great information. We'll be right back. You're listening to Conversations with Cogee. God bless you and keep the faith. We'll be right back.